Have you ever seen a strongman? But imagine if the WWE had one. Imagine. But they did. And his name was Braun Strowman. But there's only one problem with Braun Strowman. Vince and the creative team failed him over and over again. Time and time again, you know? And so did Triple H. He failed him too. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start from the beginning. From a strongman, I won't really get into that. But right now, I'm going to just start from the beginning of his WWE career. So in the WWE, he was with Bray Wyatt, Wyatt family. He had a good run. He wore a black mask, a black sheep, and you know, he was doing really good. And he was having some programs with the Brothers of Destruction, with the Undertaker and Kane, and he had a singles run with Vince, which I think you remember the Monster Among Men. Like every week, he used to just destroy a little guy and throw him in like random things and destroy them in minutes. I mean, not even minutes, seconds. And around 2017, that's where he got pushed to the moon. That one SummerSlam match and the other matches, he was pushed to the moon around that time. He was destroying everyone. It even looked like he was about to win the title, the Universal title, off of Brock Lesnar or off of Roman Reigns. But the only reason I don't think he won it that year was just because, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar going back and forth really stalled Braun Strowman from winning, the title. It really looked like it was so soon that we were finna see Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men, with the title run. And then in 2018, he had a pretty good run where he was still the Monster Among Men. Everybody still, feared him, was scared of him, and still didn't want to face him. And, why would you want to face Braun Strowman, the strongman? But in that year, he won the Money in the Bank. It looked destined that this is the year he's going to win the title, the Universal Championship. It looks like it. Everybody, the crowd, everybody, I mean, everybody really thinks he's going to win the title. And then he pulls the trigger. And then he goes after Roman Reigns. He cashes in his Money in the Bank. But no, he loses to Roman Reigns. And that was a waste of a Money in the Bank. And I guess that was one of the moments where it seemed like Braun Strowman was never winning the title. There's still people that had hope. And, some people, I guess not everybody liked him, but, everybody still thought he was going to win a title. Let's go to 2019. And then in 2019, that's where the WWE didn't know what to do with him. Vince just kept looking at him, and Braun Strowman didn't know what to do. And the creative team didn't know what to do with him. You stunted everything when he lost the Money in the Bank match. You could have made him into a big star with the Money in the Bank, but no. He wasn't, just because you wanted Roman Reigns to win. He didn't know anything about his direction or anything about him. He didn't know if he was going to stay in the company any longer because they didn't know what to do with him. He was scared that he was going to get fired or, anything that was going to happen to him. In 2020, this is the year COVID happened. The only reason he won the title was because Roman Reigns got COVID. He won the Universal title in 2020. Everybody didn't really care because it was against Goldberg. And I don't know if you remember it. Nobody wanted Goldberg to win the title. That's when he won it off of Fiend. And everybody hated WWE at that point because the Fiend and then Braun Strowman and then, Roman Reigns. And it was just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And after all of that, he won the title. I know he felt happy and felt accomplished because the year before that, he felt like he was about to get fired, about to get let go, and, everything was going to go bad for him. And he won the title. He did it, He was happy, won it at WrestleMania. Just saying there was nobody at that WrestleMania, but he still won it at WrestleMania. He lost the title, and then the next year, he got fired by the WWE just because Vince didn't know what to do with him. Gave him the title. Let's go to the next year, and let's see what Braun Strowman was doing. Braun Strowman was really sad, I know. He didn't know what to do. Braun Strowman was sad and devastated that he got fired from the WWE. That was his home for years, His friends were there, but they got fired also. I guess Vince didn't know what to do with him, and he just felt sad and didn't know what to do at this point. And then, out of nowhere, someone's calling him. Wrong guy, but this guy, Triple H, yes, called him and then wanted to make him a WWE superstar and give him a contract. And that September, he got his contract and came back to the WWE. And the way Triple H pushed him was way better than Vince did in the beginning. Made him look like a monster. And then in 2023, he didn't have much to do, but he did have some tag team matches and winning there. But he was booked better than with Vince. Maybe his early career from Vince was better, but he was booked pretty good, elevating people, making them to bigger stars. But then in 2023, something bad happened. He became injured. And this was really constant over this Triple H run. He kept getting injured. He couldn't do nothing about it, Injuries happen. You can't really. He came back in 2024, and he had a good rivalry. This is one of the rivalries that I do remember, and that probably y'all remember, where he had it with Bronson Reed. They're going back and forth, tsunamis, and I remember at that point the ring broke. Literally, he like collapsed. Like that was a real show of big man versus big man. A really good match. And I like how they did big man versus big man, Something you don't really get to see all the time. But then in 2025, he had a really good rivalry. He had a good rivalry with Jacob Fatu, and that match was really good. They were going back and forth. At first, they DQ'd. It was a good match. And then the second one, Jacob Fatu won. And then they had a last man standing match. Was really, really good. Another show of big man versus big man. Monster versus, Beast, At that point, Braun Strowman was only used to elevate people. Like he elevated Bronson Reed and he elevated Jacob Fatu. And then in May 2025, he got fired by the WWE. He was looking promising, elevating people and doing the best he could do for people, but no, he got fired. I don't think it was Triple H's call, but I think it was TKO. They want money. They want to save on everything. And why would you keep an aging star that just elevates people and paying him so much? When you could use other superstars. Braun Strowman had a pretty weird career. He won the title, but I don't think it was even meant for him, There's a lot that y'all could have used him for. Y'all could have made him like the Big Show, but no, he just wasn't really doing much. Y'all sold with Braun Strowman because I feel like he could have became something really big. I guess I'm not the booker. I'm not Triple H or Vince or TKO, so they fired him. And I don't know if you know this, but LA Knight, the WWE don't like him. They don't care about him. I know I just seen that they did something with him and Roman, but you've been talking about pushing him for a while and y'all don't. And if you want to watch that video, click here. Deuce.